Hey everybody, this is Sage Valentine, and this is my review of Survivor Season 28, Episode 9, Cagayan, entitled Sitting in My Spy Shack. So I guess this was an ode to Tony, because he did use his spy shack this episode, so I'm just saying. Okay, after the Tribal Council, the big question was who flipped to get LJ out. It ended up being Wu and Tony. And the crazy part about the situation is that Jefra, Cass, and Trish were completely out of the loop. Not one of them knew about Tony's plan. Now, smart players would be sitting back thinking about this, but these people, I don't know what they're doing anymore. So Tony said basically he kept the plan to himself so that he wouldn't get exposed. Like, the plan itself would not get exposed. It wouldn't be out there. Tony, this episode, is extremely paranoid. So, Spencer basically says Tony likes big moves. But you can't always count on him. It's time to make a big move against Tony. Now, that's the smart idea. This truly shows that Tasha and Tony, well, Tasha's not mentioned in this, but Tasha and Tony are the two people truly playing this game. But unfortunately, things turned out well for Tony this episode. But I digress. Tony's red flag is raised. He's going to his spy shack. He finds out that Jefra and Trish are basically talking about him. And they want to get him out. And what ends up happening is that Jefra doesn't want to be played by Tony, and Trish thinks he's an Academy Award-winning actor. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world here, but Tony says to us he trusts him, and I don't believe that. And if I was Tony, not to give him any pointers, because I really don't like Tony too much this season, but Tony knows they're on his radar, so I guess when the time comes and he gets out who he gets out, those two are going to be knocked out right after Cass completely. So, Jefra said, Tony lied to my face. So basically, we're thinking Tony's in trouble at this point. So Tony's saying he trusts Trish, Wu, and Cass. That's it. He doesn't trust anyone else. So we get to the reward challenge, and the winners are Tasha, Jeremiah, Spencer, and Jefra. Tony's worried because these four are going off, especially with Jefra, and they're going to, talk shop. And remember last episode, if you watched my last review, Tony wanted to be the person to talk shop. He wanted to be the person to make the big moves. And the fact that he's out of the loop, he's just scrambling around as he did last episode. And like I'm saying in my notes, he should be worried. And he really feels in danger because Jefra's upset with him. So Cass says that Jeremiah, Tasha, and Spencer are going to talk to Jefra, and she feels like she will win. Cass feels like she will win if she stays with the five. Cass hasn't been listening. She's having delusions of grandeur. There's something going on with her because she's not listening. You are not a part of that little trio, that little whatever. I'm not even going by what Tony tells us because Tony's thinking and that brain is going 24/7. Cass, you're not a part of this. You are not safe at all. You're still a brain and they still want you out. So Tony's trying to enlighten them. But Trish is not fazed. She's worried about mangoes and papayas. So this is the clear sign right here that Trish is second guessing everything she's done in the game so far, basically. And it's basically starting to worry Tony at this point. So Tony's going out. He's going to go look for the immunity idol. Meanwhile, Trish sees some papayas and says, the papayas look just like Morgan's boobs. Everybody on Twitter mentions that. I'm cracking up because that is too funny. It kind of does. They kind of do look like her boobs. Wu shakes the trees and he falls. Now, last episode, like the trailer that was supposed to be for this episode, it basically made us think that Wu got hurt and he's out of the game. But unfortunately, Wu's not out of the game. Wu's still here. So he feels upset because they didn't win the whole reward, but he's okay. He's all right. So Jefra, Tasha, Spencer, and Jeremiah, they see the caves. They get to eat this gorgeous barbecue lunch. I just have this craving for barbecue, dear Lord, after seeing this. maybe not this week, but I'm so either going to Brother Jimmy's or Dinosaur Barbecue. If you're from this area, if you're not from this area, Google that. Brother Jimmy's, Dino Barbecue. Finger looking good. Anywho, Spencer has this core alliance as with him, Jeremiah and Tasha. So Jefra is questioning the fact because he was out of the loop with LJ's, eviction. So she says basically she needs a rib before she can decide whether she's going to flip. This is a sign here as well, and I'm sure everybody noticed that. Like, they're still iffy about Jefra, but at least it was smart to try to pull her in. Can't blame you guys for trying to pull her in. So they all get letters from home, and there's tears, and I'm a little teary-eyed. I was like, oh, that's sad, because they haven't seen their family in like a month, so that is kind of sad. So they make a deal, the final four, with Jeremiah, Jefra, Spencer, and Tasha. We get to the immunity challenge, and they have to stand on this beam and balance this little thing with the ball on top, and everybody's dropping like flies. It goes Jefra, Trish, Tony, Cass, Jeremiah, Woo. Then it's Spencer and Tasha, and of course Miss Tasha wins again, because that's my girl, and I do believe she's going to be here for a while. I know Tony's gunning for her, but I do think she's going to be here for a while. I really do. I have this odd feeling. I know what I said about LJ. LJ seemed like a smart player, but Tasha seems like the type that will be here for a while. I think so. It's my wishful thinking, guys. So anyway, they have this idea where they want to blindside Tony. But Trish is a little bit worried. And as it turns out, Tony has 9 lives, and he finds that special immunity idol, whereas it can be pulled out at any time, even even after they call the votes. A lot of people on Twitter and Facebook are like, how the hell did he find this idol? How did he get this idol? There's no way that he got this idol. I don't know how he got it either. But he has 9 lives like a cat. Tony's not going anywhere. He may make it to the final 5, to be honest. I don't even know. But this game changes, so you never know. So Jefra, all of a sudden, so Tony says Jeremiah, Jefra, and Tasha are gone at this point. Still don't understand where Tasha's coming. I know she's winning challenges and stuff. But she's not the biggest threat here. I still say it, and I'll say it again. She is not the biggest threat here. You have all these floaters, and you're worried about somebody strong. I'd get rid of the floaters, to be honest, because the floaters will float their way all the way to the end after you did all the work. So Jefra decides not to flip, but she's an idiot for doing it. I know I had my qualms about it, and I say, Jefra probably knew that LJ was the next target. Even though she said to us she didn't, I get the weirdest feeling she knew that Tony was coming for him. Maybe she didn't know that he was going to get him at that week. But Jeffra's like the spook that sat by the door. She hears what everybody says, and she takes her own and does her own thing. So I honestly think that she had an idea, like, listen, instead of telling LJ to cool it or pay attention, she kind of sat back and was just like, well, just let him play. I'll stay here longer. That's the way Jefra seemed to me this entire time. Just me, I guess. So, well, you guys probably think it too, but I'm just saying me. She hasn't really done anything, and she's riding on her coattails. And like Brittany said from Big Brother, floaters need to get life jackets. They need to get life rafts or something, she said. Something to that effect. They do, because she's floating here. It's the only one not really pulling her weight. She's floating. So, Jeremiah knew it. He had an idea. Spencer tells his alliance, you know what, I have an immunity idol. I don't know if that was the smartest idea. I mean, he could have told Tasha, but telling Jeremiah, Mr. Flip-Floppy, I haven't been too keen on Jeremiah since what happened with Bryce. So, yeah. Jefra wants to be blindsided by her own group, not by the other 3. I'm like, you idiot. You should just stay with the other ones and then just... She's not even a good floater. Like, Jefra, what? You're not even playing this game. Like, what game are you playing? Parcheesi? If I tell you guys this stuff, I'm just going to end up, like, going on and on and on about Jefra. Jefra's just a lost cause. I'll get to that in my Survivor POV. Tony has broken promises. Tony's been steering the game. That's what they're saying. Trish, they're saying this at the tribal council. Trish says that they called Tony out. I said, no, you didn't. Tony told you all everything you wanted to hear. Jeremiah says that Spencer is a threat. Spencer says that Jeremiah is a threat. That whole scene was iffy, a little iffy, making me realize that maybe Spencer is more, maybe he's more trustworthy towards Tasha than Jeremiah. Like, you know, people always say, on a side note, that when women have friends and stuff, how we backstab each other. But these men, no offense to you guys, but these guys on this show, they will stab each other in the front. Like, you can stab me in the back. I'm good. I don't want to see it coming. So Tony brings out this fake idol, looks like a turd or something, making Spencer play his idol. So instead of Spencer giving it to Jeremiah, Spencer plays his own idol. And of course, Jeremiah gets voted out. Now, I could be upset about that, but remember, this is karma, because when Morgan needed Jeremiah, Jeremiah flipped with LJ and Jefra and Alexis. Don't forget about that one. So I cannot forget about that one. So this was karma, point blank. So whatever else I'm going to say about this episode, I'll just leave it in my Survivor POV. But guys, thank you so much for viewing. And according to next week, Spencer is steering him close to somebody. And I think he's steering him towards Jefra. And I could see Tony listening to it because Tony is extremely paranoid. But anyway, everyone, thank you for tuning in. If you have anything else to say, definitely rate, comment, subscribe. Definitely. Give your opinion, your POV on this episode. I would really like to know, and definitely subscribe and rate it. Bing! Anywho, guys, check out my other videos for my other reviews for Hannibal, The Following, Believe, and Mad Men, and my next review of Survivor. Until then, guys, take care. Have an awesome hump day for the next 3 hours, and enjoy your Thursday, and I'll be back Friday for Hannibal. So, take care, guys. I love you all. Until next week, and until my Survivor POV. Bye, guys. Bye.